Now,
Okay.
actually, I can see you and I can hear you well. Thank you for
Okay.
joining the session, Karishma. So, I'm sorry for this initial experience. We'll go ahead then. Have you gone through the topic for today's class?
Yes, I have gone through the topic, but now I'm not able to recall what was the topic.
Yeah, after all this trouble, in fact, I have also forgotten. But the name of the topic is Yes, Boss. Okay.
Yes, boss. Okay.
Yes, boss. So, have you heard of the term people pleaser?
Yeah,
People pleaser.
please, yeah, people who always try to make other people happy by doing something and something.
Yeah.
Is it a kind of buttering?
Not actually.
Not
It can be
actually.
different. Like it can be termed as different by different people. Yes, to some extent it is buttering. But then
But
there are a few people who frankly do not have much of an opinion over a few things. So they agree to whatever others say. But like I
hmm,
do that sometimes, not to butter anyone, but just for the sake of it. For example, if I find five people saying, they want to visit an amusement park and I actually want to visit a nice restaurant, so I would just agree with them and I'd say, okay, why to make them unhappy, right? Like that. So these are also people pleasers.
okay,
And people sometimes who butter others up, even they can be termed as people pleasers. Okay.
okay.
But they are mostly termed as bootlickers in English
Boot.
language.
Okay.
Bootlickers. Okay. Bootlickers. Just how it is clear with the term. Boot means feet and shoes. So
Boot
some people
liquors. Okay,
bootlick.
I do
Yeah,
understand.
like that.
Yeah.
Now you've understood. So
Mhm.
yeah, that is what people pleasers means. And people pleasers are those mostly who do not share their opinion so easily. They agree with whatever others say just to make them happy.
Feel
Okay.
nervous or have some fear of like what the other people will think if they will put their opinion kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not about nervousness also. It's about being too empathetic towards others.
Empathic. Okay.
Yeah, that can be there. Or just for the sake of making others happy,
Yeah.
to appease them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You tell me, have you ever been a people pleaser in your life? I have been on a lot of occasions, as I've already made it clear. You tell me about yourself.
I don't think that you see, I'm an extrovert person. I don't even hesitate to put my own opinion even in front of many people. So I have
Okay.
never, I don't think that I have ever been, be a people pleaser.
Okay. So you strongly keep your opinion, regardless of what people think.
Yes.
Great. That's the best habit to have in public. But do you feel this habit of yours sometimes lands you in some trouble?
Sometimes, obviously, if you say no to somebody, it will going to create a trouble, definitely. So it happens, at times it happens, but I think it is okay because ultimately you are feeling happy by saying no. So that
Mhm.
matters a lot. Why should I think
Okay.
about others' happiness all the time?
Not all the time, but a few times do you?
Sometimes. Okay. But I don't
I'm just
don't bother
asking.
about
You don't bother much about it. Great,
uh,
great. That sort of clarity is required in life. By the way, Karishma, would you like some corrections whenever you make a mistake?
yes.
Okay. Then and there.
That's your wish.
Okay, I'll do it after two, three sentences when I accumulate
Yes, yes,
accumulate two
yes.
to three mistakes. Like for this point, till this point, I can see only one mistake in terms of grammar, and that is it will going to create, and that's majorly a slip of tongue. I believe you don't
It
want
will
to say it will
create.
go. Yes, it creates or it will create
It create. Yeah.
like that. So, Grishma, we have not introduced each other. So, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Vipul. I have been a communication skills coach for more than 6 years now. And I hail from this beautiful land of Uttarakhand. That's a little about me. I'd like to know more about you if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. My name is Karishma Chauhan. I'm speaking to you from Gurgaon. Basically, I hail from Delhi and completed my all education there. So I have done
Mhm.
LLB and professionally I'm an advocate. I'm also a mother of two beautiful children. And apart from that, I have a YouTube channel where I post English content.
Oh,
That's it.
wow.
That's all about me.
Beautiful. That's interesting. So you have given me a lot of content to discuss with you today, by the way, right? You come from one of my most favorite professions, that is legal
Ah,
profession, law. I
okay.
love to discover law. So would love to ask you a few questions related to law also today, if you don't mind. Not obviously not from the textbooks. I'm going to ask you from the general psychology behind a lawyer and all that. So, in movies, the kind of image that is portrayed for lawyers is of the one who would fight for truth, reality, and whatnot. Do you really feel there is fairness in justice every time? Do you feel that
No,
justice is
it's
always fair?
not. No, no,
Okay,
no, it's not like
please throw
that.
some
Yeah.
light. Please
Yeah,
throw
because
something.
if an advocate he'll be true every time, it's not possible for him to work even. And for the sake of profession, for earning money, for financial stability, he must have to work. For example, if there's any case which comes to him, and he knows, okay, this is something fishy, there is something fishy, he knows, but still he has to take that case because it is his profession. He cannot deny it.
Hmm.
Sometimes being aware about the circumstances and the situation, he has to justify the culprit in front of the judge because it's his duty, is it's his profession, so he must have to do it. So I don't think that it's always if you are a lawyer, you are always doing justice, or doing always standing behind the truth. It's not always there.
Okay, it's not always the case. But at the same time, I have met many magistrates, judges also. And when I meet them and I ask them say the same question, they also have an opinion. From a judge's perspective, do you feel whatever justice they give, is it always fair?
No, I don't think so. If it would
Okay.
be that, it's not possible actually. Why? I have seen in the, I think there's a recent news. We found a lot of money in judge's house. Have you heard about this news? So is it only possible because like people are also responsible for this? I wouldn't say that only that judge is involved in such kind of things, but people are
Mhm.
also involving in that kind of thing. And this is how sometimes I feel that judges has to be unfair. They cannot be fair all the time.
When you say have to be unfair, is it a mandatory thing that they have to be, they should be? Is it like that? Or they end up being unfair? How's it?
They end up being unfair. It's not had
End up
to.
being. Yeah, yeah. Have to will be the wrong usage there then. Okay.
Right.
No problem. Moving on. Speaking more about judges and advocacy and all that. Have you ever represented anyone in a court of law?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the first day you went inside the court. How many myths were broken in your mind when you looked at an actual court?
Honestly speaking, when I first time when I went to court, it was I was feeling nervous. Honestly, generally it doesn't happen with me. I'm a kind of bold or confident person. But when it was first time, I was feeling nervous. But my senior, the person
Yeah.
under, how
Your
to say
principal
this?
lawyer, right?
I was
Those are called
working under
principals.
someone's
Mhm.
senior advocate. So he was telling me
Yes.
that you just need to do two things. You just need to say two things, and you don't need to apply your own mind a lot. Whatever I'm saying, you just have to do
Mhm.
it. But I tried to do it, but then judge asking me a cross question, and I didn't have
Asked
that
me.
answer.
The judge
Yeah,
asked me a
he
cross
asked
question.
me. He
Mhm.
asked me a cross question, but I didn't have that answer because I was told to explain only those two things, and it was like
Mhm.
very embarrassing moment. And after that incident, I asked my senior that I'm not going to defend anything which you would tell me. I would read my case myself. I'll make my own points, and whatever I will do, I'll do it with my own intellect. I would not
Yeah.
use your things. So this is
Mhm.
what I did, and yeah, there were a few assumptions I used to think that it should be very professional, like we watches in the TV shows and movies, but it's not exactly like that. There's a slightly difference because it's not too much rush in the courtroom. Not so many people are sitting to hear a judgment. It's
Oh, is
only
it?
the
Okay.
relatives of defendants
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
plaintiff sides. Minimum
And
people are
also,
there.
and also a few newbies who are into the court
Yeah,
of law. Like there are
assistants.
many
Yeah, they are always
assistants.
there because they have
Mhm.
to understand that how to argue. So all the
Yeah.
learners or the junior advocates, they present there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I've seen many of these youngsters, they look forward to attending a few cases which are renowned cases, some infamous cases. Have you ever sit in one such case where something great was happening in front of you and you looked at the court, you looked at those proceedings? Have you ever seen any professional lawyer doing
There
that?
was only one case that is about Gurugram. There was this murder case. I think two or
Mhm.
three people killed in a row, and a few
Were
five
killed
or
in a row.
seven.
Were killed in a row. Okay. Two or three people, when you say two or three people killed in a row, it means two, three people killed someone else in a row, which is wrong.
Mhm.
So these were killed. This action of killing happened,
Two
unfortunately,
or
on
three
them.
people were killed. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my sir, he was representing one of the culprit, and there are total six or seven members, and each person has their own different advocate. Not a single
Oh.
advocate is defining all of them. So
Hmm.
that was the case I have attended. But you know what? Actually, I'm not into the criminal or civil. I'm more into IPR, intellectual property rights. So my
Okay.
work is very clean. But yes,
Hmm.
as like other people, I have this crush like that. I want to attend hearings. I want to go to the court. I want to learn criminal proceedings and all. I want to work in real. So I have done it. I have joined the court for few months, like 4 or 5 months.
Hmm.
And during those 5 months, I have attended only that one single case, and it was quite knowledgeable. It was quite a good
Hmm.
learning for me. But since I have been operating my own law firm, I'm doing my practice myself, and it is not about criminal or civil. So I'm like not regularly coming across such cases.
Okay. Okay. So you come across more of IPR cases.
IPR, trademark, copyrights, patent, design
Mhm.
registrations, and
So
all.
in most of these cases, white collar crimes happen, isn't it? People steal
Yes,
someone's right, and you have to
yes,
save their rights.
true, true.
Okay. Welcome to that. I would like to share a few corrections so far. You took your sweet time in going to the word intellect, right? So it's all right. You reached the word. You could have also used the word legal acumen. Acumen.
Legal acumen.
Okay. I tend to use my own legal acumen. That can be said. Okay. We watches, and this is not a correction, by the way. Please don't get me wrong. This is an enhancement in your speech. That's the only
Enhancement.
thing. Because many people would use the word intellect. You can use acumen. We watches in the TV shows. What's wrong with this sentence? Tell me.
We watch in the TV
Exactly.
shows.
It came out as watches when you were speaking. Okay. Just
Oh
want
my
to
God.
bring it to you. Yeah, it's fine. There is a slightly difference in both of these
Slight.
things. Slight difference.
There's a
Yeah,
slight difference.
very good. One of the culprit said to me,
One of the culprits.
exactly. Now, this is one thing. I won't say that it's a grammatical error, but it's a deeply embedded error. So, whenever
Okay.
you use the term one of the, how many times I have seen, I think it has just been a couple of times, but you repeated this mistake. In other sentences, I saw inconsistency. It means it's not even too much in practice. But this particular problem, one of the, this will be deeply embedded, I'm sure, and it will take time in going away. And I'm going to
Sure.
stop you every time when you make this mistake now. Like you can see, I am not stopping you a lot in between. I'm telling you your corrections later. But for this particular mistake, I'll break your flow whenever it is needed. Okay.
Sure, sure,
I'll
sure,
take that
definitely.
advantage here. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
one more thing. During those 4 to 5 months, I have attended only one case. What's wrong with the sentence?
During those months,
Those four
during
to
that
five months.
time,
Okay. During that time, the mistake remains there. During that
still is
time,
there. Okay, let me think, don't tell me.
please, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the
During
game
those
we're
four
playing
to
today.
five months. Can I
Mhm.
change the whole sentence? Maybe
No,
the
no,
whole
you can't.
sentence is correct.
We'll get to that later.
During
Mhm.
during during those times, I don't know.
Okay. The mistake lies in the second part. I have attended only one case. See, the thing is,
I
whenever you are
had
yeah, had or something else, I'll come to that. When you are mentioning a time frame which is now over, okay, that time frame does not sustain now. Those 4 to 5 months are over, right? So then you will always use simple past tense. I attended only one case. I have attended is when the time frame is still going on, when you're still in that time frame. Okay. So during those days, in my childhood, I used to play cricket because that was my habit. Okay. This is the habit action. Here, during those days, during those months, during those 4 to 5 months, I attended only one case.
I
Attended
attended.
only. Okay. I became a
Understood.
part of only one case. Just one case. Like that. Why?
Understood.
Because these 4 to 5 months are over. Now we can
Okay.
use the same analogy when you say the last time, complete this sentence, okay? I know you're really creative. The
Mhm.
last time I went to Dubai, comma, come on, complete the sentence.
Last time when I went to Dubai, I attended a seminar
Attended a seminar, right? Why did you not say I have attended a seminar?
because
Because now
that's
you're back
over.
from it.
Yeah,
Yes, that is over. That entire trip is over. Not just the
yeah.
seminar, the entire trip is over.
Trip is
Okay.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why can't I use had? I had attended a seminar.
See, because you have not made any other trip after that to Dubai. Okay. So, for example, when we want to give a sensation of before, इससे पहले कि ये काम हुआ, ये काम समाप्त हो गया था. This action had got completed before this action started. So
Then
whenever you
we
use the term past perfect tense, a really interesting question you've asked me, by the way. Past tense, past perfect tense, I'm sorry. Not going to get into too many details unless you want it. So past perfect tense is only used when we want to give a sensation of before in our sentences. Okay. For example, my father had come to my room before I came home. ओके कि वो मेरे कमरे में आए थे मैं मेरे घर आने से पहले पहले बिफोर ओके सो यू आर एक्चुअली टॉकिंग अबाउट टू एक्शंस हियर first action for which you are using the past perfect tense and second action why are you using the past perfect tense because this first action got completed before the initiation of the second action in the past. Okay,
right.
so there's a fine line between the two, but I'll keep correcting you whenever I see that there's a problem of perfect tenses in your application. Okay, so be more careful about it whenever you're using it. Okay, so one rule that I can teach you for today about simple past and present perfect is that whenever you specify time in a sentence, never use present perfect tense.
Okay.
In 2019 I have visited Paris is wrong. It is wrong to say in 2019 I visited Paris is
Visited
all right because you're
Paris.
you're signifying time. Now tell me, then I have then I have eaten a chapati, or then I ate a chapati. What is correct?
Then I ate chapati.
Ate a chapati. Why? Because we are using, and you are testing it with your ears right now. Test it with your rule. And the rule is we are using the term then. What is then? Then is also an indicator of time. Uske baad.
Uh-huh.
Uske baad means some time, right? So whenever there is a direct or an indirect indicator of time in a sentence, you will never use a present perfect tense sentence or a past perfect tense sentence. You will always use a simple tense in such cases. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Even when you state your daily routine, what do? First I wake up, then I go for a walk, then I go, then I go. So then
Yes.
is an indicator of time, and I go is a simple tense, simple present tense.
Okay.
So this is the technicality behind it. Otherwise, most of your sentences were coming all right. One suggestion, free of cost, unsolicited advice that I want to give you after some experience that I hold in my field, is that going relatively slower. You are a YouTuber, you are a content creator. After a certain point, every word that you say will weigh a lot of importance. And you come from the field of law, how crucial it is to weigh your words well, how crucial it is to weigh your pauses also. Even a
Yes.
single comma or a pause can change the entire decision of a particular case. So going relatively slower will give your mind more breathing space. And I'm not saying that you have to slow down your pace drastically. No, that will cost you your confidence. But relatively slower, a notch slower, and that will make you even more confident and comfortable. Anybody can ride a bike fast, but riding it slow requires some balance. And you have
Yes.
that balance, right? Showcase that balance in your speech. That's the only advice I have for you. Okay, let's move ahead from here. Do you have any questions to ask, by the way, for this session? Anything that is coming?
Not really.
No problem. It's completely fine. Do you read something, Karishma? Nowadays, do you read?
Yes.
What are you reading? Tell me.
I'm reading self-help books.
Okay. They must have a name.
Recently
Any?
started actually. Recently started.
Okay.
I haven't read anything like in my past, but now
No
I've
problem.
started.
If you don't mind, another unsolicited advice: if you have just started your reading journey, don't start it with a self-help book. They may be too direct. We don't want anyone to teach us directly. If you tell a child also respect your grandparents, they don't do it, right? Because that's direct learning. Show them, they'll learn it. Likewise, reading something indirect, like a fiction, will be too helpful in this case because you're just
Fiction.
starting. Yeah, yeah.
Could you
So
suggest me
one,
some books?
I was going to this. The Kite Runner. Okay,
The
that's an
Kite Runner.
interesting. Yeah, it's a really. I won't give you any spoilers,
Okay.
but this is
Okay.
one book to read, and I've read many. Out of them, this is the best one that I've read so far. Best.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll do
and
that.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. You should go for it. And before buying, because this book requires time. Time in the sense you'll have to give it 40, 50 pages of investment. Only then it will be giving you something in return. So that's how
Okay.
logical this book is. Oh, what a book it is. This guy Khalid Hosseini writes really well. I must say that. So one book to look out for is The Kite Runner, and A Thousand Splendid Suns from the same writer. That's also an interesting book.
Thousand,
A Thousand Splendid Suns.
thousand splendid suns. Okay.
But don't start with that book. Start with
I'll
The
start
Kite
with
Runner.
this. Yeah, I was looking for a fiction book because that is something create interest. So I
It
think we should
does.
read kind of books in the beginning which feel
Mm.
interesting. Otherwise, we will end
Yeah.
up reading nothing. So that's a great
Exactly,
idea.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and don't start it with the intention of completing it. This happens
Okay,
with us, right? We read
just
two
to
pages
enjoy.
and we look at the last page. So enjoy it like a movie. Read it if you like it, and if not this, if you are interested in reading something related to Indian mythology, then a book that I have admired a lot is The Immortals of Melua. That's from the Shiva trilogy. Okay, the it is a series of three books, Shiva trilogy. That's written by Amish Tripathi, a renowned writer from India, Amish Tripathi. Imagine the foreword of his book has been written by Narendra Modi himself. So you can imagine the creativity of this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in this book, this first of this series is called The Immortals of Melua. I don't know if I'm spelling it all right. Maybe.
Why am I not able to take a screenshot? It's
Oh,
done. It's done.
is it
It's
there?
done.
Okay. Okay. These are all the things about today's session. If you have any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, we can bid adieu for today and we'll meet
I
in the
think we
next
are
one.
running out of time.
Yeah, yeah, it's already done and dusted for today. But it was
Yeah.
delightful speaking with you, by the way. I learned a few things from you. And moving on, I would like to speak more with you and would love to learn a few more things and would love to impart a few things from my side.
Same here. Even I enjoyed the session. Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you for
much.
joining, Karishma. Have a great day. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.